Hello, we are Sornia. Thank you for welcoming us in such ways. And we want to also, say good job. You say thumbs up or way to go. Please excuse our awkwardness with your language. Sometimes it's difficult for us to find the appropriate language that we want through the medium, but as always, our gratitude towards you is profound. And you know that when you come to visit us and share your experiences with us through your physical form, but we like to make it in a conscious way, the gratitude, so that you can have the reassurance that you need. And that's a little bit what we want to talk about. We noticed, well, first let's say this. We are responding, our messages to you at this time are in response really to what we are receiving from you. We've told you about our relationship with you and how it is a relationship of giving and taking and receiving and back and forth. What you experience through your physical form comes to us, and then that's how we are able to guide you and so on. And you're aware of this. This exchange has become clearer. This exchange has become more amplified, clearer, and to the point, we should say. So we are able to assist you. Hopefully you will be able to receive this, but we are able to assist you in even more precise and accurate ways on an individual level. So each one of you has that opportunity to have an exchange with any one of us here. What you call your spirit guides are all part of our group here. This group is vast, it's numerous, it keeps growing, and that says a lot about the state of your world. More are coming forward, so there's more of this, the light and love, the divine coming through. So yes, things are really progressing in a way that makes us, all of us, here in spirit and you in the physical, feeling optimistic and looking forward. But it's not translating, and this is what we're going to talk to you a little bit about. We see that it's not, that optimism isn't translating into your awareness. Not all of you. So those of you who feel the optimism, you can maybe, set this aside, just listen comfortably here. But many of you are not feeling that optimism that you feel when you come to visit us in your sleep state, and just our exchange, the optimism that we're feeling, that things in your world are turning, that tide is turning towards goodness, towards the expansion of the consciousness, the raising of the vibration of your planet and the human beings on your planet. It's happening. It's happening not just in greater number, but more profoundly. But many of you in your physical state, in that human condition that you're still moving through, that's going to be some time that you need to move through that physical state that we talked about the last time we came forward. That takes time. So what we've noticed, and this is what we want to address with you today, is somewhat of it's like you're feeling that things are stale, that they are stuck, that change isn't happening, because that physical form being really, embedded into the physical third dimensional reality and using only the five senses. And this is what you're working with to go beyond that. But that part of you that is still deeply embedded and interacting with that, because you are in human form after all, is seeing things in a more negative way. Now, this isn't the end of the world. This isn't going to cause you to be part of creating more chaos and havoc in your world, which we want to address as well. This is just you having that experience, and if you can be aware of it, you can see what you have been subject to for many, many eons in terms of being in physical form, how you become blinded, and how that physical form has been manipulated. And we're talking about your senses and everything that you experience through the physical, how that has all been manipulated by the forces that want to keep you entrapped, and you know that. And that is what you are so focused on at this time, in understanding that. Let's repeat that, in understanding that. Because if you can understand how you, when taking on a human form, have become subject to this form of manipulation and control, then you are able to disentangle yourselves, not just using your physical form. That is when you focus on your spiritual form, but not your spiritual form in the sense of, oh, spirit, my spirit is over here, my soul is over here, and my physical, like they don't belong together. They belong together. This is what we are stressing. Your physical form is transitioning. We spoke to you about that. It is, you're going through stuff, you're processing deeply embedded emotions through your body. There's so much going on there. So your physical form is evolving, but it doesn't mean that they are separate. And many of you are having that experience of, now you're very in touch with your understanding of what your true nature is, who you are as an eternal being. You become more confident with that. You understand it better. But you are experiencing it as almost separate. It's the best way for us to describe it, from your physical form. And we want you to understand who you are, because that is what we've focused on for the last few years. But who you are in that physical form. And you might go, well, we've been doing that. You've said this, blah, blah, blah. It's different. It is a subtle difference. And that's why many of you are feeling this stuckness, that it's stagnant, that the world isn't changing the way that you expect it to change, that you're waiting for some experiences to happen to start to cause others to, who are deeply embedded, to awaken. So what we're getting at here is, you're at a point of your own evolution that, both on a personal level, but as a group, because you're all very connected, and you're going to start to feel those connections with each other in a more conscious way. But how you are experiencing this reality through the physical form as a spiritual being, integrated. So you are feeling, let's put it this way, what you put up with before is become somewhat intolerable for you. Think about it in this way, in a human context. Say you have some pain and it's intolerable, so you get medication for that pain, and it takes the pain away, and you completely forget about that pain. You're anesthetized, right? But the pain is still there. It's just that the information is not being received any longer in the way that it was before, but the injury or whatever was still there. And when the medication wears off, you begin to feel the pain again. So you take another dose of medication. You have all been medicated through manipulation, through control. It's the way it is, and that's what you are freeing yourselves from. So it is necessary to feel what it is that you are feeling from that perspective, because, and I know we've spoken to you about this many times, but because many of you are feeling a sense of things not changing or moving forward, and that they seem to be getting worse for you or whatever. You know what we're talking about. Some of you are feeling a fatigue that isn't necessary for you to feel. Again, you're feeling it because you've allowed yourselves to indulge that human part of you, that you are having this human experience, right? So we're here, again, not to tell you, oh, you're messing up, because you're not. We're here to tell you you're having to have this experience for understanding. Everything that you do, from what you have been doing and what you will be doing going forward, is for experience, for understanding. Because as time moves forward, you will see how your essence and your presence in the way that you are moving forward is affecting the all, as we say, all of humanity, all of the creatures on your planet. It is working. And many of you are seeing this, but it will be so profound. It is beyond your ability to understand at this time in human form. The walls are still up. You're still anesthetized. Most of you are, even those who understand their true nature. And that is not any fault of yours, but you are working through that. So I guess we came forward today in order to keep you encouraged, to keep you with the knowledge that this is part of the process. So as you feel whatever it is that you're feeling in regards to feeling stuck or stagnant or overcome with feelings of, we don't want to say despair, but dread, or you're feeling like everything is stagnant, not moving forward, and your physical body is giving you all sorts of difficulty. And it's natural that this is going to affect you psychologically. So understanding how that is operating within your own energy system is the point of this time. You are made up of such an intricate, beautifully woven energy that has created your physical form. Every last cell in your body, every molecule, every atom in your body, everything about you is unique to you. Prior to coming into your incarnation, as you are choosing your birth family, as you are choosing the experiences that you so wish to have, all at that time is when the formation of your physical form starts. You've already started with the non-physical, the invisible energetic forces, your energetic bodies. It's already started, but you've already begun to create your physical form even before conception. You're going, how's that possible? Well, it's because the power that you have as creative beings allows for that experience to begin prior to conception. It has to. It's the nature of it. If you understand that energy that you are creating, you're creating it through your own essence, has to begin there. So what you're doing as you are choosing your family, your birth family, your location of where you live, that is very important. Where you choose to be born is very important to your cells in your body. You choose a location for a reason. And the reason is because of what the earth, the Mother Earth in that location can offer to you in terms of your journey. So all of that comes together prior to you actually being conceived. So it's very beautiful. It's divine. And when we see, just as a side note, all of you arguing, when does a baby become a baby? Well, we say prior to even being conceived. But we don't want to get into any political discussions here, because that's not our place. But we're saying this to you so you can understand how deep and profound and both complex but simple this process is. And how beautiful it is. So as you're feeling that whatever it is you're feeling. We get a lot of you are feeling that you want things to move forward and you're feeling stuck and you're feeling a boredom, you're feeling stuck, stagnant. That's the most prominent frequency and vibration we are getting from all of you. As you're feeling that, we want you to, rather than indulge it so deeply that you don't see beyond it, we want you to stop and just understand it from that higher perspective again. Because are things really stagnant? Are they really stuck? Or is this another illusion meant to keep you unhappy, dissatisfied, malcontents, so that you get distracted and do not focus on your own and others' ability to transcend this? Maybe. Ponder that for a little bit. There's so much going on. Your body is truly if you will, a miracle. But it's really not a miracle, because a miracle makes it seem as if it's random, and it's not. What we want to say, so that you understand this, is yes, the divine created all of you and will continue to do that, the physical form. But you are of that divine, and you are creating that. You're the ones. It is not to take away from Source or God, Creator, that courses through you. It's not to take away and say, okay, don't need that. No, that connection is profound. It's deep. It's necessary, obviously. But there are forces at play in your world that would like to see you disconnect from that, so that you no longer understand your true nature. And you know this. You know this. You'll get through this. We're sure of it. But we wanted to give you a little bit of a heads up to know how complex but beautiful this process of your life is and where you're at. You are definitely not stuck. You are only feeling that experience of what it means to be stuck. You are definitely not experiencing your world as being stagnant. It is your perception of that, because it has a feel. That stagnation and stuckness and desperation, or those feelings, they have a feel that's very specific. And in some ways, has it kept you feeling safe? Well, it's kept a lot of humanity feeling safe. Better the devil you know, as you say. When you try to make things different for yourself. And this is for all. Sometimes those who are not as well practiced as all of you will fall into a state of feeling, well, nothing works, or why bother, that stagnant, stuck feeling. Because ultimately, they feel safer there than trying to push past it. So those of you who are experiencing this and are working with it, this information hopefully will help you through this next hump. Breathe through it. Ask to understand it. Look at it through the eyes of the divine that is you, that connection that you have. How do you transcend this? Because nothing is stagnant. It never is. It's a falsehood. But your perceptions and your belief structure are now tied into that. Well, they've been tied into it all along, but you are now becoming aware of it. So take the time that you need to understand it. It is another very important juncture in the evolution of everyone on your planet. And keep moving forward the way you have been. I guess moving forward isn't quite what we want, but keep opening yourselves up to higher and greater forms of information. Keep that expansion going, because you are having such a deep and profound effect on the whole world. Really, you just can't see it. Not meant to see it. But don't let it be a distraction from your journey. I guess that's all. We could go on about other things and all of that. Remember, don't create chaos. Create the well-being that you all deserve by focusing on yourselves and your own goodness. We see that. You are reminded of it in many ways. Love one another. Take care of one another. So important at this time. It's always important, but at this time in particular. Many are really under a dark influence. So those of you who understand have the ability to shed light into that darkness. Take care of these people that are in need. And we're not talking about your classic needy people. We're talking about the people who carry anger, frustration, see the world in a dark way. Help them. Help them by seeing the divinity in them. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything other than see them as God would see them. See them as source, creator, the divine sees them. Don't let yourself fall into that trap of being manipulated into the anger their actions might cause you. Very, very important at this time. This is where the tipping point is. In your ability to shed light into that darkness. And it's not easy. Because many of you are seeing the way in which so many people are suffering at their own hands, basically. So be that light. Continue to do that. We will continue to do what we can for you, what you allow us to do. But remember, our relationship is twofold, you and us. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your open hearts. Continue forward is the only way to go. You can't go back. We love you very much. We are Sornia. Goodbye.